Okay, we can start our chanting verse. It's all Dharma practice, listening or chanting or some chattings are maybe not.
Page 12 in the blue prayer book, the 7 branches of the mantra that are called Serkama. I gaze upon the supreme self-arisen Lama, seated on the immutable, spontaneously established throne, here in the mandala of primordial pure mind, as it is, in the supreme palace of all victorious ones of the 3 times. I gaze upon the supreme Lama, who is meaningful to behold. The instant I behold that great bliss of Dharma Dhatu, I cross the vast ocean of samsara and arrive at the blissful pure ground. With the eye of wisdom, I gaze unwaveringly upon the Lama, the victorious hero in the battle. Just by remembering that refuge, all afflicting emotions, thoughts, and the hordes of Maras are defeated. In your body, the victorious ones of the 3 times of all the 10 directions appear together with their offspring. With joy, I gaze upon your body, adorned with all the major and minor marks, seated on the throne of fearlessness, lotus, sun, and moon. 3 kayas, nature of the mind, Vajradhara, you are inseparable from great bliss. Bowing down to you with innumerable bodies like cloud banks, yearning with a full voice, I prostrate and go for refuge. Your body, the nature of precious bodhicitta, is inseparable from all the victorious ones of the 3 times. Thus, all Buddha fields are permeated by your body, and within your body all Buddha fields appear. I bow down to the glorious one. With your flawless, melodious speech, like an ocean of ambrosia, you show all phenomena to be unborn, thereby defeating Mount Meru of views. I prostrate to your unhindered Vajra speech. In the mandala of immutable mind beyond thought, you never move from the equanimity state of Dharma Dhatu, yet you hold the wisdom power of knowing the 3 times. I prostrate to the spontaneously established non-duality. Even if expressed during all oceans of kalpas by all the victorious ones without exception, the qualities of your body, speech, and mind would not be completed. I prostrate to you who possess limitless qualities. Until the ocean of samsara is exhausted, you perform the supreme activities that ripen all sentient beings. I prostrate to you, the Lama who is manifold, effortlessly arising, unceasing, supreme refuge. Oceans of emanated offerings to you delight the victorious ones and ripen all sentient beings. Having completely filled the Dharma Dhatu, I make this unsurpassed offering unceasingly. From the heart palace of the great being radiates the light of immeasurable bodhicitta. Thus, in all the pure lands and the 10 directions, innumerable beautiful offering goddesses manifest, holding water, flowers, incense, lamps, supreme scents, and food. From the cloud banks of offerings rain falls, delighting the victorious ones of the 3 times. Thereby, filling the spheres of realms, I make offerings to the victorious ones of the 3 times. Light radiates once more from the body of the victorious ones, manifesting parasols, victory banners, draped banners, canopies, musical instruments, garments, precious jewels, medicine, and grains. I offer ocean-like cloud banks of these manifold offerings. The 7 precious royal attributes, like the wheel, and the 7 subsidiary ones, like the mansion, the auspicious substances, the substances of the cities, and so on, have arisen from the 2 accumulations. Please accept these offerings. Furthermore, I behold in my mind and offer to all the protectors of all offerings throughout the limitless pure lands of the victorious ones, that belong to no owner and do not belong to an owner, and all that is worthy to be offered. I offer all pure lands of the victorious ones of the 3 times, which are the very pure mandalas of the 3 kayas, completely filled with flawless prosperity. Please accept these offerings, you, Lord of compassion. To you, protector, I offer my body, speech, and mind, all wealth equal to space without exception, and all the virtues accumulated in the 3 times. Out of compassion, please accept these for the benefit of all sentient beings. By seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and recollecting the Vajra goddesses of form, sound, odor, taste, and tangible objects, the three obscurations are purified. I offer the goddesses of sensual objects to you. Please accept them, immaculate, victorious Lord. The Vajra goddess of your body, nature of form, is the supreme goddess of fully purified ignorance. I merge her with the eyes of the Lama, Lord of the Dharma. Please accept this in the great bliss of non-duality. The Vajra goddess of mind, nature of sound, is the supreme goddess of fully purified hatred. I merge her with the ears of the Lama, Lord of the Dharma. Please accept this in the great bliss of non-duality. The Vajra goddess of qualities, nature of odor, is the supreme goddess of fully purified arrogance. I merge her with the nose of the Lama, Lord of the Dharma. Please accept this in the great bliss of non-duality. The Vajra goddess of speech, nature of taste, is the supreme goddess of fully purified desire. I merge her with the tongue of the Lama, Lord of the Dharma. Please accept this in the bliss of non-duality. The Vajra goddess of activity, nature of tangible objects, is the supreme goddess of fully purified jealousy. I merge her with the body of the Lama, Lord of the Dharma. Please accept this in the bliss of non-duality. The Vajra goddess of primordial emptiness of all phenomena, nature of sound, is the supreme goddess of fully purified mind as it is. I merge her with the mind of the Lama, Lord of the Dharma. Please accept this in the great bliss of non-duality. I offer means and wisdom inseparable, the supreme victorious one, the five family with consorts, the assemblies of Viras and Dakinis, and the Buddhas filling the limitless sky. Please accept this great bliss. From the equality of all phenomena, the ocean-like samadhi, oceans of unwavering manifestations arise and guide all beings. Please accept the assembly of the victorious offspring, the bodhisattvas who rule all Buddha fields. The ones of great, fierce, wrathful, out of immeasurable compassion, show grinding teeth and fierce faces on their posing bodies. Please accept these wrathful, victorious ones of primordial wisdom, who defeat the hordes of Mara by the roar of Hung and Pe. All manifold clouds of outer and inner and secret offerings are offered in the vast mandala of Samantabhadra's mind, with the mode of abiding in unchanging non-duality. The unsurpassed offering of suchness is offered. All phenomena are primordially and completely pure mind as it is. Within that, whatever confusion, dualistic appearances of oneself and others, distinctions of good and bad, hatred and attachment there might be, each and everything I confess, may it be purified within that state. With a happy mind, I rejoice in all virtues of all the victorious ones of the three-time, of the assemblies of the superior ones, of the unceasing wheel of the two accumulations, and of sentient beings. I beseech you, protectors in the world of the 10 directions, by completely turning the wheel of stainless Dharma with the sound of the ocean-like branches of melodious speech. Please ripen all sentient beings without exception. I beseech you, protectors who abide throughout all realms, please do not pass into nirvana until the exhaustion of the dhatu of space. Rather, fulfill your commitments by abiding permanently. May all sentient beings be established in the unsurpassed supreme state by this virtue, by the virtues accumulated by the 3 times throughout all samsara and nirvana, and by the undefiled innate virtue. By the light rays of immeasurable great compassion from the palace of body, speech, and mind of the victorious one, please purify my body, speech, and mind, and thus transform it into your body, speech, and mind. Protector, as you made offerings and delighted the Supreme Lama, likewise may I also offer ocean-like clouds of offerings and delight you. May I follow in your footsteps. May I perform limitless activities that do not even waver a hair's tip with respect to the liberation of your body, speech, and mind. May I be renowned in the 3 worlds. Thus may anybody, just by hearing my name or remembering me, be completely liberated from the tormenting suffering and attain the state of great bliss of the victorious ones. May I turn into any form equal to the expanse of sentient beings, taming them according to their needs. Thereupon may they take refuge joyfully and be established in the unsurpassed supreme awakening. Those ones who are oppressed with shrouds of ignorance, who lost the path, who are threatened by afflicting emotions, such as the henchmen of the Lord of Death, may helplessly remember me and instantly find the supreme path. Becoming the inexhaustible wheel of ornamentation, which is body, speech, and mind of all the victorious ones of the three times, may I completely dry out the ocean of samsara and establish all sentient beings in the unsurpassed supreme state. In all my lives, may I never be separated from the authentic Lama and enjoy the glories of the Dharma. By completely perfecting the qualities of bhumis and paths, may I swiftly attain the state of Vajradhara. And page 9 in the yellow prayer book. The basic stance. Supplication. Namo. To the Guru, the utter purity of all appearance and existence, I offer all appearance and existence arisen from the primordial ground. I supplicate you. May the three realms be completely liberated. Please grant blessings to empty samsara from its depths. Lord, with 5 omniscient wisdom, crown ornament, kind one with loving nature, precious protector of beings, heart of all Buddhas, inexpressible by words or thought, I supplicate you from the core of my mind. Bless me from within the state of Dharmata. Bless me to realize this mind primordially pure and unborn as the unfathomable Dharmakaya.
Thank you. And I think before I chant lineage prayer, and then we can go through some questions that here, I think, I'm assuming that these are coming from our group here. And then second session, we also have a list of questions that we can go through. People online may have more things to say. Jiwane zero jinjima dam jido do zewa jimbo goni jisu sonde jushin jila bananza do zo kongi shar son tabi mengon kasaran zomben dondraj chenpe zewu zemjo zarwin rogun meke do zejo to jinda ma guni juren jiten son jingong jabi to wampe mangar bodren da lo yin zor jong Jen Zong Pime Dong Bu Zer Jarve Nam Zho Rong Jong Rong Jir Chen Zho Be Ye Yo Den Zong Ba Ve Pe Man Ju Ne Da Lo Ben Zho Jong Xin Yi Teng Kui Xi Jin Sik Bin Qian Zi Jin Ko Rao Gong Xin Zho Gong Zi Mo Men Pa San Zi Lo Zhu Gun De Nian De Gu Dang Yi Ji Zhi Ba Mi Gong Chu Yin Ka Lan Zi Ba Gong Jan Bar Zho Na Gun Ne Ga Ve Zo Ge Chu Yinro Pe Makaron Zumbi Lixan Zer Dongge Chawa Jin Yinge Mezer Lu Zhong Jo Zer Yang Jian Age Bar Ma Da Yi Zhong Kong Re To Ka Ren Chen Ying Bong Go Yo Den Gun Jong Ka Wei Ji Zar De Ying Bo Dong Se Pe Pe Nan Ji Chen Me We Zer Shab Je Da Yi Zhong Xi Ya Gun Sen Zho La Je Se Ter Chen Me We Zer Yang Zhor Tu Ten Zo Sa Long Jian Nan Ke Nan Je Jing Mi Ling Bi Shab La Zor Wan De Je Tor Jer We Se Po Shi Wa Za Nong Der Zho Be Wong Jiu Xia Wa Re Song Pang Jiu Deng A Rong Zheng Jing Mi Ju Ji Wang Bo Re Ke Jiang Za Re Tong Jian Bar Xiu Nu Xin La Le Gong Be Long Le Po Be Der Je Zhou Long Do Chun Zhe Jiang Zo Nga Nepam Jamya Nam Jala Zawande Yoden Sanji Gun Nyam Nayam Kadin Sanji Gun Lela Sawe Lamantela Zawande Dasun Roe Lona Chula Jo. Thank you for coming back. And I'm sure now you have much better idea about what Dzogchen is and what the ground itself. And I think here we chant the prayer book, daily prayer book. We just chant somehow. It has a lot of echo, I think. Sorry, I don't know what I can do. I cannot do much. And is that better? Okay. So nama nangsi namda ke lama la nangsi shirin suncho bambon kamsong yongzho tuzorwan kurwa tongzho si. It's very much what we are learning these days is a condensed form of that. If you pray these in a daily basis, you can see the first two lines is that the primordial Buddha or your own guru is your own mind, and also that is the Lama who is the utterly pure existence and appearances and existence, which means this morning Garchen and Rinpoche told us that we need to treat everything as Lama, even poisonous snakes and others, and then we can offer anything that appears in existence that arise from ground. So if we have that kind of attitude and understanding, then that is called Dzogchen or Mahamudra. If not, then we still have room for develop and expand or whatever we call. We still need to change our attitude and other stuff. And yesterday we went through only about the ground. There's 4 or 3 verses that we went through. Today we are going to discuss path and fruition. But before that, we warm up a little bit to see what you think first from these papers. Yeah. Here. Could you explain a bit more about emotional and ultimate? Sorry, not emotional. Conventional and ultimate truth. Yeah, emotional truth. Maybe. Sometimes I read, I see what I want to read rather than what appears. That's called delusion. The true truth is really foundational understanding of all Buddhist teachings, from really beginner to all the way to Mahamudra and the Dzogchen. But there's some criticism from Dzogchen point of view that true truth is not really helpful for us because we think about there's truth and untruth, two things going on, means very much we are still have this idea of accepting and rejecting, or what we call embracing and rejecting, and those, or adopting and abandonment. Those things are happening in our mind. However, we are kind of familiar, most of us, I think if you are totally new, but it's try to make sense to us the true truth in Buddhist teaching. Because we want the Buddha's teaching is very beginning. The first Four Noble Truths is suffering, which is related to selflessness. And it's called selflessness or emptiness or what we call that. That is reality. Once we talk about reality, then always come up questions that then what's happening to us? We see things, we have suffering, and we have disturbing emotions and appearances that we cannot just erase. Then the explanation would be that is conventional truth. So most of the time, conventional truth means you don't need to worry about it. That things comes and goes, ephemeral, and also what we call advantageous things through that appearances. If you really care about appearances and then you really wanted to figure out, then Buddha and other Nagarjunas and so forth say, think about interdependent. Everything's related, and things cannot appear without other, and sometimes they have causal relationship because the seed to fruit, or farmers, what we do now, we survive because by hard work of farmers, and that they know if you put seed next month or half of the month or half a year will yield some crops that we pretty much know, and we pretty much rely on this causal conditional relationships. And we care about that. And birth is one of them. Its birth is depend on the cause and condition. That's why Nagarjuna say everything's interdependent, but that doesn't necessarily mean something exists. Mainly the reason is saying that is everything's empty. That's why everything's dependent. There's no independent things. If something truly exists, have to have their own independent nature, because you're not relying on others. If rely on something means that entity does not have own independent nature. So that's why Nagarjuna's dependent nature is a very important interdependent relationship. And of course, until Dzogchen and Mahamudra, people don't really want to lose what we learned from school, that we don't want to lose that part, because once we lose that, we will lose our identity. No more individuals in this world, no more man and woman and color of skin and age, and all disappear. So that's why this loving kindness is sending out, saying we are one. There's no individuals. that idea or that understanding of losing self-identity of our individuals, in order to understand emptiness, we need to give up our own identity. Yes, that's the main thing. It's sometimes fancy word is called purify self-clinging ignorance, but really means give up self-identity. You still think you are here, a little bit different from where you sit next to you. That person means still have that good idea that isolation is coming from that idea. And that idea is the main target of the whole Buddhist teaching, because ignorant means we created something that never exists, including ourself, not this self, what we imputed on the body and the mind, including our body and the mind, never exists. And that is called ultimate reality. But we still don't want to lose this, no matter what. We still have people think, there is 6 parameters, and generosity is very important. We have to have wealth and so forth. The wealth is important, and so then we can expand. Anything that belongs to us is very important. And that is also need to give up. That is called self and something that belongs to self. Because once we give up self, then there would not be self, and then there would not be things that belong to self. So mainly, then you can see how Buddhist fundamental, is that not good word, or I don't know, a fundamental understanding of human problem, or the whole samsaric problem is we, me. It's not out there, and difficult to give up those things, but still we need to try. And that ultimate reality seems to negate everything, doesn't leave behind any identity or any value or anything. That's truth, but then we are clinging on still appearances and other virtue things. So that's called conventional truth. But this conventional really mean is just things that deceive you. Sometimes people argue with me that you say there's no conventional things, then almost against all the Buddhist teachings. I don't mind I'm outlier of Buddhist, but the truth is there's only one truth. Yeah, as Buddha says, there's only one truth. Truth is ultimate truth. So we are hanging on the conventional truth means we are creating something out of nothing and imputing something that not belong to anything. So that's why it makes sense to Madhyamikas and other teachings, because it helps not only to explain the true nature, but also sort of explain why we are seeing things that there's in a reality would not have a own entity. So a little bit difficult to give up that concept because we have this good idea of existing and non-existing are contradictory. So, and we don't really want to give up both, mainly. That's why two truths are useful for people who don't want to give up two extremes. I'm not saying Nagarjuna believe in two extremes. Maybe he is, but I don't know. That's up to him. So that's my understanding, and then that sometimes so can criticize Madhyamaka's point of view of separating these two truths. Even conceptually labeling these sometimes disrupts our mind nature. If you are okay with that, that's my explanation. You don't really have to accept that part that sometimes seems difficult to people because I say samsara never exists. Then I say, then what is this? Then I would say conventional, but doesn't mean exist. But then that's how communicate in the Buddhist world. Doesn't mean it's truth. And then, can you compare mindfulness and the Buddha Dharma to the Western, I don't know, it's just cross or just line, concept and practice of mindfulness, vipassana, which seems to be sitting and thinking. Yeah, it's good news is that we have really wonderful term that's called mindfulness, and nobody really know what does that mean, and that is not really translated neither from Tibet nor from Sanskrit or Chinese, and it's I'm not sure 19th century or 20th century innovated term in West that seems good, but nowadays automatically whenever we want to say something, focus on or sit down to relax or whatever we do, we call mindfulness. That then there seems very maybe spectrum of range that mindfulness implies to very, very differently, maybe individual to individual. If we think about what this morning Garchen Rinpoche was talking about, the Tibetan Tenpa or Tenrig, if we use that as mindfulness, I don't have better term either. So if that is Tibetan Tenpa with Rigpa, and Rigpa, of course, we kind of know is translate intrinsic awareness or primordial awareness or whatever we call. It's sometimes people just use Rigpa. That is sounds easy. Mainly means aware of something or aware of self. Even that conscious can aware itself. And with the Tenpa is often a translation of Smriti, that coming from Sanskrit, is mainly recollection, often used, but it comes to Dzogchen, it's more awareness again. And then this Chenrik is either now we can use mindfulness if you understand that as correctly, or awareness that not losing, not straying, or not not thinking something else, but focusing on what you want to focus. Mainly Dzogchen and Mahamudra comes, or of course then looking inwardly to mind on nature. So the mind, when we say Chenrik, then mindfulness is looking inwardly at your mind, not something else, to focusing on something. And maybe that is a little bit different from modern Western concept that mindfulness. I'm not really sure what they do. Mindfulness, focusing on what, purpose of what. Sometimes these days meditation becomes so famous, and then later on some snipers and some will have mindfulness meditation practice. It helps sharpening your focus and more stable, and that is the goal. Then also is there, but our Buddhist practice is always looking inwardly. So maybe that's a little bit different. If your mindfulness is correctly used, then it would fruitful. If we talk about Dharma practice, and then if we use other purpose, then maybe also that helpful for whatever task you want to achieve. And to the Western practice of mindful vipassana, which it seems to sitting and thinking, that's when we say sitting and thinking, then we really need to care for what we are thinking. So the content is some Lama, I think, maybe Zongsan Chenze Rinpoche taught meditation without content is just sitting there. It doesn't make any better. So we have to have some goal, content, and method to what you want to do. To sitting is for what? What are you thinking? What are you? And so forth. Those are important. But I'm not saying we should not do mindful meditate. We should do, but maybe we can do even better. We are Buddhists, yeah. We have title, we have concept, so and then Khenpo Yeshi, to me, I think, please elaborate on the spiritual basis for the ripening and in-ripening of karma, cause and effect thing. I think ripening and in-ripening is often used as of course we think once you plant some seed, for example, is hopefully that seed will produce some fruit or crops that will be ripened some point. That ripen means develop, and somehow even here when we talk about 5 poison to 5 wisdom is transformation, not only ripen, but 5 wisdom to 5 Buddha is called ripen, is not transformation. Here just karma, cause and effect. These are very much, I guess, the basic understanding of how we accumulate karma and how that karma will ripen through cause and condition to either produce happiness or suffering. The happiness itself is translation. It's a little bit, seems happiness is kind of, I'm not sure. In the Tibetan, it's dewa. Dewa is more not only happy, but you have a well-being kind of idea. And sufferings, we all know that has characteristic that seems we don't like. Most of us don't like. I don't want to generalize. Maybe some beings like suffering. We don't know. But somehow Buddha, sometimes people forget or people don't know why Buddha says that we need to recognize suffering. Since we don't recognize suffering either, so how can we say, if we don't recognize suffering, then how we can say we don't like suffering? So that's why I don't want to generalize. We all don't like suffering, but we don't recognize suffering, then difficult to say I don't like suffering. So, but that is karma ripened through cause and condition, ripens either happiness or suffering due to the good karma and bad karma. Sometimes people use evil deeds. I don't like to use that because there's no evil things maybe. Evil means purposely doing something that wants to produce that. Yeah, it's, maybe we don't have evil deeds. That is a kind of ripening and unripening. Unripening, we need to disrupt the cause. Because this morning Garchen Rinpoche was saying that most of us focusing on the result, and it's kind of symptom, we can subside a little bit, but it doesn't necessarily mean remove the root, and we need to focus on the cause. And that's why Buddha's first you can see truth of suffering, the first noble truth is just fruit, just result. Result comes first because we don't like that, or if we recognize that, we don't like that maybe. But sometimes we don't recognize that, that's why we like it. Yeah, all samsaric things are suffering, but we still enjoy eating, chatting, and gossiping, and all these are suffering, but we don't recognize that as suffering. That is, we don't recognize. Seems most Buddhist teachers, they don't recognize why Buddha say we need to recognize suffering. So we are not recognizing suffering. That's why we are not really don't like suffering. We like some part of suffering that we enjoy sort of suffering. That's too much for you, or okay? If you can accept that, then we need to go to cause. Cause of suffering is second noble truth, which is mainly we talk about ignorance, and then 5 poisons, and then we can expand 84,000. Usually, if you categorize details, subcategorize, that's why at least 84,000 afflictions we can produce in humans. And then, and that's why teachings are called 84,000 short term, and it will be available in English soon. I think these days everyone's excited and supporting that and translating that, and so you can see how many thoughts and how many concepts we can produce. We are good at that. And until we cut that, we can not unripen that part of the fruit. So fruit is based on the cause. Until we remove or eradicate the cause, the result will be produced. So that's why Buddha's Four Noble Truths teaching is result come first and then cause. Recognition of the fruit, you give you motivation and a goal that you want to do something, and then you can do it. But that's cause you need to work with. And then same way, that is samsaric causality, but nirvanic causality is the peace state, that's nirvana, that's result. He introduced first that. Once you remove the cause of suffering, which eliminates the suffering result, and what you will get is nirvana, peace. How to get that? Then also need to work on the cause, and that is called path. So then path involves Garchen Rinpoche's teaching, the 6 paramitas or the 7 branch accumulation offerings and so forth. We can work a lot of things. And mainly the practice involves 2 things. In Tibet we call Bang Dog. Bang, abandonment, Dog, realization. So abandonment of any negativity or disturbing emotion that cause us to suffering is need to rely on realization. We need to understand. Garchen Rinpoche often used as kowa, means first understand, or this kowa could be realization or even higher. So that's why we need to learn Dzogchen ground. And every line or the verse, end of the verse, it has, may all realize the great perfection, the true nature of the ground. So the realization is the most, not only the most, the only remover of the ignorant, and it will uproot all the cause of the suffering, which all involves our good thoughts, bad thoughts, and so-so thoughts, and all sort of thoughts. So that's why we don't really recognize suffering. So once you enjoy in the samsara means you are not recognizing suffering. Once we don't recognize suffering, of course we don't want to abandon that. That's why we enjoy sunshines, rains, warm weather, maybe not too warm, and so forth. So that's good thing for us. Very bad thing for us in the future. Is that against what do you think Buddhist teaching? And then we have one more. Do we ever experience the ground in the deep meditation or sleep? Yeah. Experience, again, it's what does that really mean, experience? English word has a lot of baggage. One of them is experience. Sounds in Western language or English language, American English language, seems experience good thing. Maybe it's a good thing. We like taste sweet and other all kind of taste we can experience, and whether we can experience others. And the experience itself is in a Tibetan. Yesterday I mentioned that these three levels, understanding will fall apart. Experience will comes and goes, disappear. And then realizations only we can rely on. So which means experience is not necessarily a good thing. But however, if you are practitioners, if we don't experience things, then they say it's not developing anything. So we need to develop through experience, but we cannot clinging on experience. The experience is not reliable because do you remember Milarepa was in a cave and there was one time he saw Chakrasambhara, and he thought that's maybe something really big thing happened, and he went to ask Marva. He said, "Oh, yeah, that's happened. So go back to cave and do more things." Maybe that's it's good, but it's interesting things that call experiencing, and I don't know. I maybe noticed something, or I just pop up in the mind is not no value at all. But lately I was telling people that if you cannot repeat exactly second time, means not reliable. So any experience maybe you cannot repeat, means it's gone, poop, and you cannot find, you cannot trace, you cannot copy again. It means it's nothing. But and then of course, ground experience means it's a little bit difficult to say what we are experiencing. And my other teachers told me that why are you looking at your mind if you have experience, means some problem. You should not have any experience. Means if there is involving experience, probably involving with concept. Because you can explain something. Experience means, yeah, I saw something, I heard something, I think I have some experience. Those are not reliable, but I think individuals' experience we cannot really generalize, and or the texts what we have are general teachings. It doesn't really give individuals. And Jigme Lingpa told that there is millions of experience individuals would have how to develop on a path. It's not necessarily the same way appear. And however, Garchen Rinpoche told us that once you go to sleep in very deep, then that is sort of you are retrieving or you are returned to the primordial ground. If you believe that, then we can believe in that. But if you have deep sleep, there would not have experience the same thing. So experience not so necessarily good thing, but it's motivator, and also we have to have it, but we need to just passing that kind of stage to experience. Maybe intensifying experience will happen, but still need to move on until realization will happen. The realization comes that you can repeat again. That's why it's reliable. If you look at your mind, if you recognize your mind nature, whenever you look at it, should be same. Its change means just experiencing something. I'm not saying experience is a bad thing. You should have experience, a lot of experience. Emotional experience and also unemotional experience. Because we humans should have experience. If not, then there's terms that very designated to that. Either called psychopath or narcissistic, yeah, that's developed in the modern days, and those have some targets. I think we should have experience, and we should have emotions until everything disappear. And then what is the connection between the ground and the pardo? Yes, a pardo is, I think everyone knows pardo means between that and until you wake up from that blackout. When you die, you will black out, and similar as deep sleep, that's why we don't have experience. And similarly, we don't have experience in the moment of death. And the pardo itself depend on individuals, how long it will stay. Longest 49 days, but maybe shortest could be a second. Some, if you are good practitioners, maybe just as soon as you wake up from this blackout, the transitional moment that the Dharma dhatu or the ground will appear, and ground will be dawn. And if you recognize that moment, you are Buddha, and if you don't recognize it, you are sentient beings, as same as we repeat again and again. So that's why even the Confucian and the primordial ground and these we talk about some sort of origin that in a past, long ago, but it's every moment and every sleep and every part of we are experiencing that. We are brand new sentient beings that will arrive. Once we realize that nature, then we are primordial Buddha. Even we are the latest one, but we are the beginners, the earliest one. So we need to think a little bit malleable or very what's called flexible way. We should not stuck in a thinking that we think we are not the primordial Buddha. We will be the primordial Buddha. We will be the primordial Buddha means is how contradictory that statement is. Yeah. So. And that is our group here. Then we can chant ground first to remind us what we need to realize. Remember, understanding is not good enough. Experience is not good enough. Only the Lamala. Can you give me a napkin? Sorry. Okay, first Tibetan. Kuntuzanpo la chanzalo dumene lo ron shin tru tan cha yu ba ma yin jar wen dhamma me ba ma yin kur de gun je shen gan da ma yin ju ye yo le so chen shi ye ne lo do barash Ngo tombe dai ben thale chora yin sarve che be matan kata mazon tok jen game na so zhe she song de yin yang tong la ta me so jen shi ne lo do para sho sam je me cha zhun do gun dan cha yu dan me bi chang zi nam para De don ju la jar ve ja jan do ton ta pa me ten sar chen boy zong chen xie ne lo do bar sho.
Homage to glorious Samattabhadra. The true nature of things is naturally free of conceptual projections. It does not exist, since even the victorious ones do not see it. Yet neither is it non-existent, as it is the ground of all samsara and nirvana. There is no contradiction here, for it lies beyond the realm of expression. May all realize this great perfection, the true nature of the ground. In essence, it is empty, hence free from the limitations of permanence. By nature, it is clear and free from the limitations of nihilism. Its capacity unobstructed, it is the ground of manifold emanations. It is divided into three, yet in truth there is no such differentiations. May all realize this great perfection, the true nature of the ground. Inconceivable and free of all superimpositions, one-sided fixations on things being either existent or non-existent completely dissolves. The full import of this turns back even the tongues of the victors. Without beginning, middle, or end, it is the great expanse of deep clarity. May all realize this great perfection, the true nature of the ground.
Thank you. And again, understanding is not good enough. experience comes and goes. And we only care about realization. That's why you can see all these 3 verses and say, may I realize, and may I realize. And what we need to realize? We need to realize the ground. That's a fancy word, but it makes sense sometimes because we all arise from there. Everything is based on that, and everything manifesting from there, but also dissolve in there. Or sometimes it's used as oscillations. Oscillation means coming, kind of showing and unshowing, dissolve back to the ground. So we are even not that much activities going on, where maybe we never stray from that ground, which means we are in a still without any attributes. Maybe we are still in a Dharma dhatu. So think about dream. Dream is helpful. And now we find new verbs here. So the realized part is what we call view, not ground. So ground we need to realize. So our realization should match the ground. Once we have that, then means subject-object duality collapse, and then non-dual wisdom arise. Yeah. Until that, then we have, in order to make sense, we still need to use a subject-object. The ground is object, view is subject, realizing is the verb. Very important. Until we realize the ground, would not have good meditation. Mindfulness doesn't account, and experience is useless. And so meditation is on. The genuine meditation should come from the realization. Realization means you are not fabricating, you are not making up, or you are not conceptualizing that what our view is better, others' view is not. So correct view means you are realizing the true nature of phenomena. And now we are talking about path, ground, path, and root. Yeah, the ground we already talked about our mind nature, and then path means used as in a Buddhist term, sometimes used as a bhume and path, or path and bhume. Bhume means ground or earth, and path is passage that we maybe can traverse to get somewhere. Sooner or later, maybe top of the mountain. That's called path. But these both path and bhume both subsume in this path. And now you can think about another category is view, meditation, conduct. These 3 often comes. So these 3 also subsume in a path. So now means we can do something. We can try to understand the ground, that's called view. We can meditate, that's called gom, a meditation. And then we can do our best to support that meditation and our understanding through our body, speech, and mind, the action, activity, that's called conduct. So these three are not unrelated things. We have to have first understanding, realization, and then we have to meditate based on our understanding. And the realization is stabilized by meditation and also nourished by your conduct. If you like running all the time, maybe need to slow down a little bit. If you lie down all the time, maybe sometimes need to sitting properly, so that helps maybe. Whatever you are excessively doing things, maybe not necessarily helping things. Somehow that's why we need to cross leg to sit. It's give discomfort, but that's called practice. Sometimes practice always involved with patience. Patient doesn't mean you can wait in a line for lunch or dinner, but more patient means you can tolerate something that you even don't want to tolerate. So that's called patient. And that's the understanding or realization. Please keep in mind that's called view. So realization is how important it is. And then the path. Rongonanda jimi gadala lundumda ma shibi dongshara kusama zon rezon sungjo che toba ye gomba tse lam jine la kurjo me baraisho. English.
Its essence is pristine, unoriginated, and primordially pure. Whatever manifests is the expression of this unconditioned, spontaneous presence. Without perceiving them as other, realizing the great unity of awareness emptiness, one's understanding of the ground will reach a point of culmination. May there be no deviations and mistakes concerning this key point of the path.
So now, this verse, you can tell that we already have the base, that realization. And now what we need to do is more, may there no be deviation and mistakes. So based on that, truly, fully, genuinely realize true nature, so we don't want to lose that moment, that foundation. So deviations, now we should not fabricate anything from what our realization. We should stay in that scope. But of course it's difficult, and that's why meditation and path is important. All Buddhist practice is maintaining that realization. And what characteristic of that understanding without deviations and mistakes based on that sort of concerning this key point of the path. The key point of the path is we should maintain our understanding. I often say understanding. It means realization of that true nature. And now we talk a little bit about activity, how this ground manifests or appears as samsara and nirvana. So we even seems appear separately, but their nature should be understood as one. Its essence is pristine, unoriginated, and primordially pure. That's called Gada, primordially pure. And then whatever manifests the expression of the unconditioned, spontaneous presence, these two are the particular Dzogchen Nyingtik had essence tradition terms that is used. Usually these two are called view. What you are now treating, you are the primordially pure and spontaneously present, or primordial pure and spontaneous present. These two are called view, Dzogchen view. Because now you are thinking that things are primordially pure and spontaneously present. So these two helps us. We are not falling into the internalism and the nihilism, which sometimes people care about. And these two are not two separate things. You can see next page on page 3. Without perceiving them as other, realizing the great unity of awareness emptiness. So awareness part is the spontaneous present, and the empty part is primordially pure. But the union of these is called great compassion. So now we are really treating the ground characteristic or nature of triad nature, the essence and nature and compassion, these three innately kind of endowed with all sentient beings. That's called Buddha nature or awakened mind. So these three now we are understanding, and we are treating these three as inseparable and indivisible. Tokpe in the Tibetan, one's understanding of the ground, or the one's realizing these through this realization. The Tibetan really says that Tokpe means that through this realization. What realizing we have? We already realize these three triad nature are inseparable and indivisible. And that is called the realization of ground. This is the sort of perfect or the genuine realization of the ground. One's understanding of the ground or reach at the point of culmination is saying that, but the Tibetans a little bit have the reason here. Through or by means of realizing this genuine realization, then your realization, the Gongpa, is become perfect. And that is, we can take that path. And that's why it's saying, may there be no deviation and mistakes concerning the key point of the path. Next. Yene tabe dawe menyon me rongore be gumju jobninde sati me be jobe rodon da rong yilum jo da yembe ngo lam jene la kurjo me ba jo.
Pure from the beginning, even the term view does not exist. Aware of the original state, the sheath of meditation falls away. There are no reference points, hence no need to restrain one's conduct. In the spontaneously present nature, the state of naked simplicity, may there be no deviations and mistakes concerning this key point of the path.
Yes, these verbs are same. You can see first about the ground. Last three verbs are realize and to realize. And these three on a path are, the Tibetan is mainly a Korchok Meba or Kunchok Meba, but English we have this sort of two no deviations and mistakes. So think about that when you meditate. These or the mistakes lead to in the wrong direction. So that's why it's no mistakes in this. And as I said, this view, meditation, and the conduct are belong to the path, when it's ground, path, and fruition. It's complicated, but we need to understand that. And the first verse of this path is about how we realize that, how we should maintain that, or how we maintain that, and then introducing the view and meditation and conduct of Dzogchen Nyingtik practice, what that would be. Usually, view means we can conceptualize something, and then meditation means mindfulness, we can count some thoughts, and then maybe conduct means we can stretch our legs and do some yoga and those good stuff. But here, all the good stuff is gone, and you cannot do anything. Whatever you do is a fabrication, either conceptually or meditatively or physically. You are doing something means adding something in a samsaric word, maybe missing something. We always need something that to become full samsara. Yes. Building a house, we needed to all sort of, and then we need windows need glass, and doors need doorknobs, and then maybe a few locks to close the doors and so forth. So that's kind of adding things, whatever you do. The good news is we are still in the samsara, can add something. Bad news is not good for us. I jokingly, I heard this, they say, some advertisers, I think it's very funny. They say, if less is more, then what would happen? Nothing is everything. That's, I think, real kind of Nyingtik Dzogchen teaching I learned from TV. So Dzogchen, less is more, and nothing is everything. Until that means, since you think you need more, means you are getting less. And then if you get everything, means you have nothing. And that's think about it. It's a nice phrase. And so here, first view. We think our view is right, our view is good, our view is higher than others, but here you can see pure from the beginning, even the term view does not exist. So it means there's no view. So how we can say my view is better than other, or I have good view or I have bad view. In order to become good or bad, we have some entities to describe. Yeah, even beginner of English learners, they know modifiers would have something to modify. So there is no basis of that. And see, we don't have view now. We learn 2 days, but now we need to think about there is no view. Even the name, the title of view is not relevant here. Aware of the original state, the sheet of meditation falls away. So the meditation is become sort of a plastic bag that can trap mosquitoes and others. But so once we don't have that plastic bag, so we don't need to worry about if you are environmentalist. So now we don't have plastic bags, so don't need to worry about destroying our earth and trapping fish and other stuff. So which are our thoughts. So no meditation. Our meditation is plastic bag. Useless. And then there is no reference points, hence no need to restrain one's conduct. And once the conduct is whatever you do is not really helping your view, because most conducts comes from your idea, and then that idea is mainly fabrications, and our conducts are mainly we are get along in samsara. Yeah, that's human behaviors are usually. That's why we call good behavior and bad behavior and those. But that's not really helping the realization and the meditation that you are maintaining non-referential meditation. And in the spontaneous present nature, this state of naked simplicity is now you become very simple. You don't have good or bad ideas that call view, and you don't have meditations that you have to do in visualizing, thinking, and other stuff, mindfulness and so forth. And then once you don't have that, then you don't really need to act like human either. It's you can act like whatever you are. And then this is the path we call. May there be no deviation and mistakes concerning this key point of the path. That is our second verse on the path. In order to, why these are arising? Because the ground itself is unfabricated nature, and realization should match that, means you are not fabricating. And the path, meditation and conduct should support that rather than deviate or making mistakes on that. So that's why I need to follow to help maintain that state, and that's all related to your view. And the song nam to jos malon chen dong long ma dan to man jang ba sharuri me jayen lu nya long bong long ye zi rong yi yang ye lam jene la kunjo me ba shong.
Not falling into partiality towards positive thoughts or negative ones, and without giving free rein to the state of indifferent neutrality. Manifestation and liberation, an expanse unrestricted, unbridled, and spontaneously free. Understanding that the nature is inherently devoid of needing to accept and reject. May there be no deviations and mistakes concerning this key point of the path.
And this meditation on this particular path, including view, meditation, and conduct, once we fully realize that and we follow the meditation, follow that, and then conduct also, we don't need to restrain ourselves. And then our meditation or understanding of the view should not falling into partiality toward positive thought or negative thoughts. Of course, we often talk about when you meditate, the both white cloud and black cloud both can cover the sun. Similarly, our thoughts doesn't really matter. Whatever we do is obscuration for our mind nature. So here, Chunyingzu and other, now maybe I'm using this title of Longchenpa's writing, is often used as, sometimes used as the 10 characteristic of Tantra, which has involving, of course, view, meditation, conduct, and then empowerment, mandala, visualization, and jirim and dzogrim, and mental recitation, and so forth. And Chunyingzu, we have this, or does not relevant, or these are irrelevant to the Dzogchen practice. If you want to hear recite in a Tibetan, my English translation is on a book, so I don't remember. Chuni xiang job sam jing o la tawa gun me juba jid Jiva me san lang du ze me jing koro ji me de ju zo ren On la gore me tam se zong de me yen de lun ro tak bi chu ni la Lo ren zo jun ri chu le de da da xiang jo san jing o de. So you can see each items that negate in theirs. Tawa kom me, jubachit me, driva drub me, salam drut me is, or have this Tibetan me negation with this real meditation and so forth. But I don't want to give you burden to read or chant Chunyingzu, but if you really can spare a little bit time, read that book also, and this may help your view. And then, of course, expand your view means your meditation will be much more powerful, advanced, and that may also help your conduct and so forth. And this one, pure from the beginning, no, that's already done. Not falling into partiality toward the positive thought or negative thought. We are talking about even visualization of deity is not necessary, or even that just disrupt our mind, nature. So while you are meditating and Dzogchen Chukchu cutting through, you should not have any good thoughts that maybe you think helpful. That's irrelevant. less is more, yeah. So keep that in mind, and nothing is everything will arise. And without giving free rein to the state of indifferent naturality, so you don't have this positive thought or negative thoughts, but you are not falling into this unknown territory, sometimes called undifferentiated state. You should not fall that either. That is sometimes we call Dong as undifferentiated state. But Dzogchen, cutting through, have recognition. It's not just blank, like deep sleep. And manifestation and liberation expands unrestricted and unbridled and spontaneously free. So once you have this unbiased view, not falling into undifferentiated state, then everything's liberated itself. And understanding that nature is inherently devoid of needing to accept or reject. So we always think we need to fix this and that, means we always think something not perfect for us. And that kind of preparation or the plan should not be in your mind at that moment. That's also deviation and mistakes. May there be no deviation and mistakes concerning the key point of a path. So path, we already now know path. And path and meditation are different. Path include view, meditation, conduct, and meditation is one of them. And sometimes when we say path, means it's the path, the road that we traverse. So meditation is through the path we by meditation is more traveler rather than path itself. And then fruition. And so now we will change the verb. Here used as English seize or reached or obtained or whatever we want to use. Oh. Sorry, I was thinking time is, I still have, need to go all the way to 4, but that's very painful to you, I know. Sorry, that is my deviation and mistake. So, okay. So my apology, and we go for break, then come back, and we just read this. It's not difficult. The last part, and then we go through these few questions, and then I will let you go. Okay? Okay.
Oh
Again, thank you coming back. I was thinking that maybe nobody want to come back. This is not productive in samsara. Doesn't make any sense, yeah? We need more friends, more Dharma activities, and so forth. So, and yes, now we are in a subject of about and subject and fruit, and then you can see the verbs changing realization to unmistaken or not mistakes, should not mistakes, and then we have cease. To cease means grab something and reach that. Usually we say we attain a Buddhahood, so it's similar. What kind of fruit do we need to attain? In the Dzogchen tradition, the ground and the fruit are inseparable. So we are not talking about two things. We are kind of going back to the original source, and that's why it's called oscillation. We are just oscillating on the ground or in the ground to appear or disappear, appear or disappear. And the realization and the attaining Buddhahood is as the same thing. And not only the ground and the fruit are inseparable or not too different, but also the path. So Dzogchen point of view, the ground, path, and the fruition, all three are inseparable. It's a little bit different than other teachings. And that in the mind, fruition is not difficult to understand. There's not much difference we don't need to talk about, because ground and view, often people get confused. That's why I wanted to clarify a little bit. And sometimes path and meditation also have some misunderstandings. That's why I wanted to say that. And now we are ground, we chant, and then it's almost done with these texts. If you want to keep that as your daily practice, it's also a good thing. And people are wondering, need to learn again. I asked Garchen Rinpoche myself, but he seems doesn't want to, or I don't know, it's sounds not going to happen, and giving long of these texts. And but if you want to chant, and if you trust me, then I got very good long from Toto Rinpoche himself, if you know that. If not, Chada Rinpoche is Northern Khenpo Minister's student, the long beer one, and he also gave this long to me, and then many other teachers. So if just reading is fine. If you really want to get from Rinpoche, then I don't know. I have no power. You need to request him or someone else. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Page 4. Tomeji namkada ngon shino riba kala dinten shi chesa hi pa no do ba le chi chu chu den shonam gu riva jar bu chen sa san ba sho.
Like space, awareness is the universal ground and starting point, manifest ground spontaneously present, yet vanishing like clouds in the sky. The mind radiates out, projecting outwards, and then returning within, to the youthful vase body's inner space, possessing 6 unique characteristics. May all seize the throne of this majestic fruition.
And people often ask, what is these 6 unique characteristics of Samadhi? Of course, many people may don't know and hear. Even one time, Garchen Rinpoche asked me what those 6 are. I just read text, so that's my habit. So I somehow know this information, and usually when it's make more complicated because so far we say the ground, primordial ground, that the first Buddha is our mind nature. So I don't want to deviate that part, but somehow comes this subject, we need to discuss a little bit about these 6 unique characteristics. So ground itself is not neither samsara nor nirvana, which means ground itself is not Kuntuzanpo. Kuntuzanpo is Buddha. Kuntuzanpo, everyone knows Kuntuzanpo. Samadhi, the all positive, the first Buddha. Rinpoche said this morning, the Nyingma tradition called Kuntuzanpo, and Dharma tradition called Vajradhara or the Dorjin Chang, but sometimes also the Dharmakaya form is Kuntuzanpo and Sambhogakaya form is Vajradhara. It's same deity. And here, these unique characteristics that possessed by Kuntuzanpo, which means Kuntuzanpo is Buddha, and primordial ground is neither samsara nor nirvana, because that is the base. And then how we can differentiate Kuntuzanpo or Samadhi from primordial ground, there is 6 qualities, that unique qualities Kuntuzanpo has, which the primordial ground doesn't have. And maybe I need to. First one is healing park. The Kuntuzanpo is elevated from the ground. It's called then at first. And Rang or Nang means Kuntuzanpo's mind nature appears to Kuntuzanpo itself, himself or herself. It's called Rang or Nang. Hitak Chi means he or her, she distinguish that is coming from on self. Hitak Chi. Chi talk to troll. That means Kuntuzanpo liberated right there, soon as recognized that it's on Rigpa, that is distinguished here. Shilimpa. And it's not coming from elsewhere. Hien in Machung means that Kuntuzanpo recognizes Rigpa, which is not coming from somewhere else. And then abides in on place. Kuntuzanpo, then the liberation happened, and then abides on place. Means it's not really only recognition, the understanding or realization it's happened. It's never, nothing has happened there. But you can see in the Kuntuzanpo prayer that samsara and nirvana are based on realized or non-realized, unrealized or understand or not. So that's Art 6, if you are wondering those. And okay, Healing Park is come out from the ground. Wrong or non, it appears to oneself. Hirachi is distinguish or discriminate. And Chitok to Chor, right there the liberation happened. Hienli Machung, it does not come somewhere else. It happened in oneself. And Rangsanane, it abides in own place. A little bit complicated, and you can exercise and you can think about that. But that doesn't really help much for your practice, but that appears here, so we sometimes wondering what 6 things going on. Maybe this is more important than what I learned these days, few days, maybe not, but if you are wondering, that's it's those things. But real message is liberation happened based on the recognition. It's nothing else happened in the Kuntuzanpo. But ground and Kuntuzanpo you can differentiate by these 6 qualities. And then next verse. Yene rang re Kuntuzanpo la tav ye shen du ta ta yin su ya xia zar lan de zo ba chen bu xin yin re Kuntuzanpo ka lang ba ji jar bu zhen sa san ba re sho.
From the very beginning, awareness itself is Samattabhadra. Within it, all hoping for attainment dissolves into the sphere of reality. The true character of the great perfection beyond intentional effort, the sphere of reality and awareness, the inner space of Samattabhadri, may all seize the throne of this majestic fruition.
I think next one. Rabdemene ma chenpo tan cha da nyang cha cha chenpo nga tadra lo yang zo ba chenpo ne salam yo den shir zo lam ra bo drive jar wu zhen sa san ba sho.
Utterly non-abiding, the nature of the great middle way, all-embracing and spontaneously vast, the state of Mahamudra, freed from limitations and wide open, the key point of the great perfection. The virtues of the levels and paths fundamentally complete, spontaneously present inner space. May all seize the throne of this majestic fruition.
Yes, we often talk about these 3 Greeks. What 3 Greeks? The Greek Madhyamika, Greek Mahamudra, and the Greek perfection, the Zopa Chenpo, Chakcha Chenpo, and Uma Chenpo. So these 3, usually people think these 3 views are pretty much the same, and view means recognizing or realizing exactly what reality is, and that attaining that reality is called fruition. So Mahamudra and Madhyamaka and Dzogpa Khenpo, or these three in here, so you don't need to worry about when you practice Dzogpa Khenpo, maybe you're missing Mahamudra and Madhyamaka, or when you practice Mahamudra, you may think I'm missing Dzogpa Khenpo and Madhyamaka, so you don't need to worry about that. Everything's here. So that is our text, and there is a colophon. This is where Jimmy Lingpa revealed this. Yes, I read this, and if you want to read in English, that's fine. If not, it's fine. Tukchu Longchen Sabja Yenta de Molam Samont, Kasson Saju, Tronson Rafala, Fendi Sorju Korniku, Sabton Perla Ton Yujit, and the Molam Tarchi chair. Namkin Yimbushin Lave, Konyon Bibi Renzela, subject or the Tijik, Roton Namka Nyamba Show.
This profound prayer, a summation of the seal of the quintessential vast expanse, was set down at the behest of the protectors of the teachings to Rishi Rahula, who took the form of a monk, to make meaningful the spread of the profound reality and bring to perfection this prayer of interdependence. I let loose this profound seal to the mad yogi of Kong, entrusting it to this hidden master of awareness, who himself has been blessed by Akasha Garbha. May it benefit the beings equal to the extent of space.
If you keep this as a daily prayer, I think you should include, beginning with homage to the glorious Samanapadra until page 5, that may all seize the throne of this majestic fruition, and colophon. Usually, you don't need to read. For as practice, you can familiarize that, but that's our text, and we still need to go through our wonderful questions that help us to understand. So that's our text. That is also oral transmission in there, my oral transmission, and then you can upgrade better and better later, greater lamas, and also maybe one day we can get from Rinpoche. And okay, now from the wisdom of many ancient cultures and now from the modern science comes the idea that the trees and other plants are sentient. Are plants discussed in Dharma as part of the Dharma of 6 realms? Yes, I think why not? And in Buddha's teachings, there is in the God realms that some drums and trees and those teach dharmas. But here the main we can think about is the Buddha nature is pervasive. It doesn't discriminate sentient or non-sentience, and which means trees and rocks and all in the Tao with the Buddha nature, and we can think about that through that. And Dharma teaching also in the Sutta level, we call all phenomena does not or do not depart from Dharmata. Dharmata is nature of the phenomena, which means the Buddha nature is nature of the phenomena, not for humans. Sometimes we are proudly say we are humans, have this Buddha nature, but those rocks and those, especially those poison oaks and so forth, doesn't have, because they're nasty and so forth. No. We are same. We are, I don't want to say that. We are probably poison oak to many things. So our Buddha nature is identical to the rocks and others, and discussion Dharma is, maybe they don't need to discuss because they are already liberated. Maybe they don't have disturbing emotions to throwing each other and so forth. So that's another way of thinking. But think about Buddha nature as pervasive. So that way we can pervade our nature. Triad we call essence, nature. We talk about empty, luminous, and compassion. How we can pervade our compassion to all phenomena, because it's nature. We don't really need to conceptually pervade. Once we trap in a concept, but we opening that opportunity is really important. That's why Garchen Rinpoche is often talking about this loving kindness is the most powerful thing you can share, and you can spread out, and you can emanate, or what they call, you can manifest and pervade all beings and beyond beings and so forth. But all beings become Buddha or attain a Buddha, this world would not be behind, still kind of floating in a space. There would not have worlds either, so think about those, and everything is good. And the text that I introduced, I think many people didn't know in the Tibetan title, but the title is The Basic Space of the Phenomena. Basic Space of the Phenomena. So it's a book that's written by Longchenpa, and if you want to expand a little bit your view, then maybe that's probably helpful. And if you really like logics, and then there's many Nagarjuna's, Chandakirti's, and other texts that also help your view, and that's up to you. And if you have a question, if we still have time, then please ask. First, we go through this list. First, regarding generosity, sometimes being generous can enable others' bad behavior. That is bullying. Can you explain lawful form of generosity? Yeah, it's generosity or someone bullying others. If you can bully that people maybe helping or hurting, I'm really not sure, because generosity is mainly not for others. It's bad news for you. The Buddhist practice is seems everything for others, but this practice is really me. It's designed because until you fix yourself, you cannot fix others. And as generosity is good, Buddha say, if you need to become Buddha through generosity to eliminate all the poverties in the world, it's not going to happen. But in order to we talk about these 6 paramitas this morning and 7 branch accumulation merit and so forth, is what is the antidote of the stinginess is generosity. So it feels good because you feel helping others. That's maybe also a good thing, and also helping something. But also the main purpose is you are reducing your stinginess, as that is another thing. If I understand correctly, maybe someone can help me to understand. Sometimes regarding generosity, sometimes being generous can enable others' bad behavior. Simple example is bullying. Is that what generosity and bullying is doing?
Enabling?
Yeah.
It means people can take advantage of you.
What?
People take advantage of you if you are very generous.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
People will take always.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I heard that from one person. Exactly, that's just the purpose. I think people should take advantage on that generous people. I'm not joking. Bodhisattvas, do you remember, need to cut your head first and then you still be happy. So that's very difficult part. It's not going to happen. If someone cut yourself, then you cannot respect others as your teacher, yeah? Do you know what I'm talking about? Yes. In 37 Bodhisattva practice, it says someone chopped your head, you need to respect that person as your teacher. If someone chopped your head, you are dead, you cannot respect that person. Think about it. But the purpose is, I'm saying, is not. Bad news is 6 paramita is not fixing our problem, making more problems to need to go through purified, and because we have already bad karma, so in order to purify that, we cannot just purify by bypass. We need to deal with that, repay time, and then it would be painful. Yesterday we say, if no pain, no gain. Generosity is painful, and that's more painful. It helps maybe, but I'm not saying. If you fully accept as practice, if you think someone is taking advantage on you, then that's not good generosity either. So you better to stop what you are doing. And so that's why it's very difficult to balance walk in a Dharma and worldly and unworldly things. If Dharma, there's not much turning back. It's already in a troublesome. Already we are here. And second or two, it's okay to ask a teacher, Lama, which of the three vehicles is better for you or for me. Sometimes a teacher can clearly see a student. Yes, that is really important. And also, there is 84,000 way of training your mind. Maybe there's much more than that. And all for us, not for the teacher or for the Buddhas. And teachings and all the practice and everything should be for us. We can ask, we can take advantage, and we can anything that we can do. And that's so we know what we want, and we are the decision maker. We sometimes do most, but that only once or a while. But that's important. Yes, three vehicles. If both samsara and nirvana have existed, existed since beginningless time, how can there be first Buddha? If both samsara and nirvana have existed since beginningless time, how can there be a first Buddha? Exactly. That's just, I like this question. So that's why I don't want to hesitate to say the Samadhipadra has three qualities that separate from the ground or differentiate the ground from ground. And the first Buddha, Samadhipadra, it didn't say I think, I don't know, maybe this, I tried, if this worked, you can think. The fourth time means timeless time. It's not past, not future, and not the present moment. And samsara and nirvana exist beginningless of time, means still is put us in the past. We are not going forward, we are going backward. Beginningless time is sometime in a past. And that's why we can say samsara nirvana doesn't exist in a timeless time. Samsara and nirvana only exist in the three times. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that's why the Kuntuzanpo is first Buddha. It's not the ground. No perfect sense. The ground is not abides on any time, but the Kuntuzanpo become Buddha in the past. Still is Buddha, will be Buddha. Then if you like a little bit mind exercise, then when you become Buddha, you will be the first Buddha. Yeah, that's good fun. Then, if there is no self, who rests in equanimity? Yeah, that's another good one. These questions are really good. Yeah. There's no self means there's no self. And who rests means we temporarily pop up. This morning when we wake up, there's a person. Seems to remember name and family and where it's coming from. Some people don't, but someone do. And maybe we did it. Somehow we found this temple to come. And those confused beings try to rest in a where equanimity doesn't mean we are exist. If we really exist, we cannot rest in equanimity because we are not equal. We never exist. That's why we can rest and we can try all kind of things, and we can make up because things never exist. If things exist, it means we cannot add anything. There's no room for that. Even we think about U.S. president, there's only one here. Maybe we all want to become, but there's only one seat. So we need to wait until become first Buddha and then come back to try that. Then 5, the ground is the nature of phenomena. That's truth. Is the ground also the nature of the mind? Yes, that's almost. We need to repeat ourselves again and again that ground is the nature of our mind. And sometimes you can hear from Rinpoche, he doesn't put nature, but we need to understand ground is nature of our mind. And if you like to add one more flavor, then Kuntuzanpo is our mind nature too. A little bit complicated, yeah. Then sometimes a little bit difficult to. Now we already kind of separate this ground and Kuntuzanpo. That's why now we have a little bit. That's why I don't really want to introduce these 6 qualities. But then, if I don't say, maybe you think and search and what's going on, and what these 6 are. Human beings like numbers, 1 year, 2 year birthdays, 30-year birthday, and so we have 30 days per month and 7 days a week, and 12 hours is daytime and so forth. So number is a very good thing. And 6 of the 3, essence, nature, and compassion, the third one is often translated as capacity. Capacity implies potential or power, not necessarily compassion. Please speak to these 2 translations of the third aspect. The base on the Tibetan itself is called tukje, often used as honorific term for Buddha's mind or teacher's mind, or if you want to say. And tuk is honorific term for that, and je use supreme or the best of the mind, sometimes even heart. But then these 2 words comes together most of the time. It's compassion, referring to the compassion, and that's why compassion is important. In Buddhist point of view, compassion is a very important component. Even sutras the indivisibility of compassion and emptiness is Buddhahood. Maybe everyone knows. Madhyamakas talk about that. And the compassion is not something we discard. And also, mikpa maybe tsewa in the Tibetan, non-referential compassion or love. Very difficult concept again. If you don't have any referential focus or aim, attention, then how could love arise? So Buddhahood is non-referential tsewa, loving kindness. Therefore, compassion is, I think, good enough. If I saw capacity and put others translations, but if you think compassion is too conceptual and too worldly things, then capacity maybe work. But really, the last characteristic of our mind nature is also called the union of clarity and emptiness. What do you want to call that? Is compassion, or that is just capacity or potentiality? That's up to us. We are decision makers. Now on, you should have confidence and practice. Confidence is very important in the practice. If you don't have confidence, then means your practice would not stable, shaky, and so forth. Even you are totally wrong, or we are totally wrong, but we are proudly be wrong. So that helps us to confidence, yeah? And 7, I don't understand the English translation of line 3 of paragraph 3. It's talking about here. 1, 2, 3, line 3 of paragraph 3. Yeah, this is the full import of these terms back, even the tongue of victors. Yeah, is that one? Maybe, I think that's one, yeah. Seems. The Tibetan really means, usually we say sharp tongue means could not be good or bad, but in order to express some profound meaning, or in humans cannot express profound meaning. Maybe Buddha's will explain by his or her tongue. Yeah, that's the idea. That at least Buddhas can explain more profound things. But here it's saying that even Buddha's tongues are not good enough to explain, or is become useless. And Tibetan means the sharp knife and dull knife. This means dull or dull. But here English is say turns back even the tongue of the victor, these victors. So that is the meaning. But English, I cannot fix that English. Maybe everyone understand, or it's not really, or okay. And then 8, in the teaching of baseless primordial ground, baseless primordial ground, where Dang, Rolpa, and Tsar in relation to the ground. In the teaching of the baseless primordial ground, here two words are similar, base and ground. And to say baseless primordial ground, I'm not sure. It's a little bit difficult to... The primordial ground that has no base, or maybe... Could we say just primordial ground? The word Tang Rolpa Zal, so this we didn't really learn in English. First, this ordering is a little bit not disorder. The Rolpa come first. We talked a little bit about yesterday. Rolpa means dynamic energy, or the potentiality, or sometimes just called dynamism. That we have innate three kayas, yes, that has potential to manifest or to appear. That potentiality is called Zal, the last one. And then the Dang means sometimes used as an expression, which means Zal, the potentiality is now sort of rise or break or move, and now lights and wisdoms are slowly arising. And then Rolpa means role is often used as a enjoy or participate or participate. Means now we have sort of subject-object duality that engaging with these lights and wisdoms as treated as an object to become dualistic, slowly dualistic world appear. So here in Kuntuzanpo Molam we have these three layers of ignorance slowly arising now, and then become more and more. We can solidify, and we can do many things. So those are three things that Dzogchen's on term. If you see these translations in that book, blue book or green book, it would have dynamic energy is Zal. I don't know, magical expression is maybe Dang. And then Rolpa, I don't remember, but somehow engagement or some sort of both subject and object are now functioning in this point. And 9, in your recent Chicago teachings, now maybe many of you don't know what I say there, you share that the technique to look at the back of your head. Do you have any tertiary techniques for maintaining stable Dawa view or vision after direct experience of reality of the ground? So if you really seriously want to look at your mind, in Chicago or other places, I share my techniques that you should get from high realized masters, not like me, but I already share with some people already, so now asking that, you think, wondering what is that, maybe that's maybe good. So if you want to try, it's just try to look back of your head. Literally. When I say that, some people think it's just trick. No, it's just literally. If you want to look at your mind, you need to look inwardly. Definitely, you cannot look outwardly. In order to do that, not only you're thinking you look at your mind, but you kind of psychophysical level, you need to turn your system inwardly. How can do that? Just look inwardly. Remember, you cannot move. If moving like this means you are moving. Moving like this means you are moving. And open your mouth. Most people close mouth. It's difficult to breathe. Breathe is very important, gentle, because no breath means that. We still need to breath. Except breath, we don't need to do anything. So breathe gently. Don't close your eyes. It doesn't help because we cannot shut down appearances. It will appear until we disappear. This is how we create it. And open your mouth, please. Not too far, just gentle. And sit, and then just a moment, look at your mind. Look your back of your head. Try. Don't think, just look. If you are looking correctly, your thought should be stopped at least a millisecond. If that doesn't stop your thinking, then there's not much things can do. I'm not joking. Cannot try that much, yeah. But one thing, good news is that this is so powerful that it's interrupting our karma, our concept. Almost beginningless of time, we are chain of thoughts that never stopped. Now you stopped that. So it means you are breaking the chain of thought this moment. If you want to practice this, then repeat it as much as you can. And practice short duration is much better than just sitting there thinking, planning, and even you are thinking that I will do 3-year retreat and next year, and before that I make some money, and all good things. But you can do, a lot of time you can do that, but as soon as you sit down, you can just look inwardly. Straight your body is very important, Garchen Rinpoche say. And breathe gently. Don't count breath. This is not shamatha. of counting breaths. Do not even think if my mind is clear or not, or I realize or not. Just sit and look. That's why it's called looking at your mind. Yeah. Often Garchen Rinpoche pointing here, inwardly. So, all your system need to bring inwardly, not outwardly. If this is helpful, you are welcome. Can use anytime. In the Tibetan way of saying, Chu Dharma Nyingru Suchi. Dharma has no ownership, and whoever has perseverance and bone in a heart, that's not really a good thing, but bottom of heart, you do practice. Dharma has no ownership, so you can do that. There's no ownership in Dharma. Highest doctrine to the lowest, should not say lowest, but they're most what we like things. Yeah. Okay? Can you look back your head? You don't need to see your back, but you just better to look inwardly. If your mouth needs to lazy, doesn't want to open, still need to learn how to open, okay? Most people close eye and close mouth, then that means thinking something. Don't think. Thinking is samsara. And a Dzogchen way of saying mind is samsara, yeah? Means thinking is samsara. And that way, somehow we have... I didn't want to say too much here, but somehow this caution need to hear that, and then if you maintain that, then you do repetition, and practice is always involved with the repetition. So thank you so much being patiently here, friendly, didn't yell at me these few days, and that's really kind of you. And then we can dedicate.
Page 13?
Yes.
Is short or long?
Short.
Short. So page 13 in the yellow prayer book, dedication prayers. By this merit may I attain omniscience, having defeated the enemies my wrongdoings. May I liberate all beings who are tossed in the ocean of samsara by the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death. More?
It's fine. It's good. We still have tomorrow's teaching, and we have more time. And now time is perfect, so it's good. Okay, you can stand up and leave. I need to pack my stuff. And
I have a few announcements, though.